Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Haven't seen you for a year. Oh, it was good, wasn't it? I got it in there. So we begin a new year, 2026. This is the first sermon of 2026. It'll be your longest sermon. Yeah, I figured you're all up for that. No, it's not, just kidding. But our reading comes from, and our message comes from 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 4 through 15, as Solomon was praying and asking for wisdom, as our sign up there says, in our classroom setting. Many people this week made promises to do something different or make something of themselves that they hadn't made in 2025. The most popular resolutions in 2026, I looked it up on Google. I had wisdom to know that I could not figure that out without looking at it somewhere. So the most popular ones are, they center on health and exercising. So exercise is one, diet, weight loss, sleep, finances, saving money, getting out of debt, personal growth, learning and reading and being happier, relationships with friends and family, increasing their relationship. There were goals like exercising more, eating healthier, stop smoking, stop drinking, save more money, and of course, like I said, save time with loved ones, spend more time with them. Most of these are probably made without wisdom, without thought. It's just one of those things where you get caught up in the moment and you say, I want to do this year, and this is what I'm going to do it. Some of them don't even have plans to get it done. In order to have wisdom, we need to learn, whether it's going to be in school or going to be in a trade school, or sometimes we learn just by making mistakes, and we learn from our mistakes. Wisdom is not something that comes easy to everyone. Wisdom. Well, what is wisdom? What does it mean to be wise? Well, for me, I figured I'd better go to the dictionary and look up that term. Again, I didn't want to guess at what it would be. I had wisdom enough to know that I needed the exact terminology, or you'd be holding me accountable for that too. So wisdom, by the dictionary, says it is the ability to use knowledge, experience, understanding, and good judgment. See, that's what those resolutions don't have always good judgment. To make sound decisions, often involving deep insight. A resolution doesn't always have deep insight, does it? Some of our things that we think about don't have deep insight, but we do them anyways. Discernment and awareness of life's complexities and long-term consequences. I don't think anybody has wisdom when you think of that. Because we make decisions and we don't think of the complexities of our lifelong journey. I don't always think of the complexities of what's going to happen 10 or 15 years from now. When I'm visioning for the church and trying to place my wisdom of visioning into the church, I look out a few years and I try to adapt to that couple of years and use that with the Holy Spirit to guide us. It goes on to say it involves expert knowledge in life's fundamental aspects. Expert knowledge? Who has expert knowledge in anything? I thought to myself, this is impossible. Oh, then it goes on just a little bit further. The knowledge of human nature, values, and uncertainty, built through reflection, critical thinking, and of course, your life experiences. So as we get older, we have more life experiences, so that means that we gain wisdom, I guess. I don't know. That wasn't in the dictionary. When we hear this definition, you wonder who could accomplish all those things, all those traits. It's not about having every one of the traits. It's knowing your gifts and your abilities. For instance, this fall I took a trip with 3 ladies driving, exploring in the Midwest and northern states. It was a lovely trip. I called it Driving Miss Daisy's. Our daughter was real good at this too. Kristen we go on road trips. Anybody know what this is?
That's an antique.
That's an antique, right. It is. It is an antique. Not too many people use it anymore because you use, what do you use? Garmin or GPS. You got the GPS on your phone, right? Just plug your phone in, and how does the satellite in the sky know which one is you? But it does. It works out. So Judy's sister, O'Clay, was my co-pilot, just like Kristen used to be. We traveled all these back road highways. I'm used to the bigger highways. We didn't travel those big highways. We traveled those smaller highways. Highway 10 in Nebraska, Highway 183 and Highway 85 in South Dakota, Highway 13 in Branson, Missouri. There was one highway, I think it was 183, that we stopped, we got a hotel, and we were going to get on the freeway the next day. So I wasn't too worried about the gas. There was 160 miles worth of gas there. And I said to O'Clay, I said, which way are we going? She goes, make a right. I said, okay, we're on the road. I'm thinking we're going to run into the freeway anytime. 100 miles later, we're still waiting for the freeway, and I'm 60 miles worth of gas left. I looked over to O'Clay and said, where's the freeway? And she goes, oh, I decided I would take you a different way. So now I'm panicked because I'm running out of gas. I never run out of gas. Never. And so we're driving down this road. There's like a farmhouse over to the right. I can see the barn and all that stuff. I said, I'm pulling in there. I'm going to knock on their door and I'm going to get gas. I'll get gas from the farmer. I'll pay him, whatever it costs. So we're going to get ready. We're going to pull in. And a woman was driving down the road the opposite way, and I rolled down my window, and she says, what's wrong? What can I do for you? I said, I need gasoline. Is there a gas station down here anywhere? Oh yeah, just 2 miles down the road. Make a left here, go down the road 2 miles, there's a gas station. I said, okay. I'm driving down the road, zoom. No gas station. I didn't see anything but pumps out there. So then we spin in there, we go back around and we get into there, we got the gas. But it was quite funny because there was no one there. It's just pumps in the middle of nowhere. You pull up, you put your card in, you get the gasoline. There's no fancy building. There's no bathroom stop. There's nothing you can do there except get gas. And it closes at 5. So you better be there between 8 and 5 or you're not going to get gas. Thank the Lord we were traveling in the morning and not in the evening. But O'Clay had the gift of knowledge to be able to take us on this trip and take us through these areas that were so beautiful. Reading that map, she had the gift of being able to understand where we were going and what we were doing. She would be able to read the map from this state to that state and tell me what road we were going to be on. And we took all those back roads. And I'm going to tell you that this trip was completely different from anything I've ever experienced because I saw the beauty of our United States of America. It was absolutely gorgeous to drive those back roads, those back highways, and see the rolling sand hills where the dunes had pulled the sand dunes, where the ice age had pulled the sand into the areas, the flowering sunflower fields, thousands and thousands of acres. We would have never saw that on the freeway. But we saw that beautiful landscape of the United States of America because we had someone with us that had wisdom of how to read an atlas. I did have Judy up front for a short period, and then I kicked her out. And I said, I want O'Clay here. Because O'Clay would say, in 50 feet, you're going to turn right. Judy would say, I thought you knew you were turning right. There's the sign right there. So she had the wisdom, but she didn't pass it on to me. That's what she was happening. So, this is just one example. Many of our church members have experiences that place them in the right place in the right time. People with wisdom help their families and others by using the knowledge that God blessed them with, and understanding that that knowledge can be passed on and given to others. Some people believe that wisdom comes through education in the classroom. But I can tell you that I did not get a degree of a legal assistant when I was in college. But with God's help, I functioned as one who helped the attorneys for our church. Don Lynn didn't go to school, didn't go to college to become a financial advisor or a stock trader. But God helped him learn how to invest for his family and his church. Remember, wisdom is one of those gifts that come from God as well. We have people in our congregation that never went to school but can fix anything or build anything. Our son is like that. Our son is very talented in that understanding of mechanics. We have the opportunity to know and reflect what God has blessed us with. And I talked about that last week, about the blessings that God had given us. So we have the understanding of reflection of wisdom. So how do you reflect on your wisdom? How do you share that wisdom with others? Now we're going to talk about Solomon here, because Solomon prayed to God about wisdom. Now he wasn't a great king at the end of his lifetime. Solomon was great at the beginning, but in the end of his reign, he started out good, but he walked away from God, so to speak. He had too many wives that God asked him not to do. He did it anyways. He built temples for all the wives. God asked him not to do it. He did it anyways. But in the beginning, he was praying to God and asking God for help. Solomon acknowledged God's grace for him in making him king, and in that time frame, he confessed his youthfulness. He confessed his childlike behavior and how he could not lead the people of Israel, his people, God's people. Not Solomon's people, God's people. He confessed his youthfulness and lack of experience, and he needed God's help in this role, and understood he was a mere child in knowledge compared to what God could bring to him. But he wanted to care for the people of Israel. In his prayer to the Lord, he asked for the wisdom needed to rule over the great nation of God's people, Israel. The understanding of this request is true wisdom involves skill in human relationships, as well as the ability to understand and cooperate with the basic laws of God that are built into creation. We, as people, to be wise, not only have to have a knowledge of ourselves, our human nature, but we have to have knowledge of what God created for us. We have to have knowledge of God. And the only way you get knowledge with God is to pray and to read His Word. Many people know the right thing to do, but they don't choose the right way to do it. They most often choose the easiest path, the path that makes it easier for them, even if they know that the harder path, the one that you want in your relationship with God, is going to take more time for you. I don't have time to read the Bible every day. Oh, I forgot. Well, do you forget to check the sports channel for the scores? Do you forget to check how much money you have in the bank? Do you forget to check how many calls you had? Or did you pick up your phone at 2 o'clock in the morning to look at a text that came through because you heard it ding? That's not using wisdom. That's not using wisdom. God asked us to build that relationship through wisdom. Relationships that we build together. This relationship that we have as pastor and members of the church, or visitors of the church, is based on a relationship of mutuality, coming together. I say coming together because if I'm doing it on my own, I'm trying to come to you, and you're not coming to me at all, what kind of relationship is that? One-sided. It's a one-sided relationship. How long do they last, a one-sided relationship? My brother used to tell me, you know, Frank, I can't come up to Conneaut. It's a long drive. I said, we come down there all the time. You come up here once in a while. I said, the road goes both ways. And he goes, I know, but I don't have the time. And I said, you think you don't have time? I don't have time either, but I make time because the relationship is important. So what kind of excuses are you giving God? Is it a resolution that you make, a resolution this year of spending more time with God? Perhaps you didn't, but perhaps if you had wisdom, you would have. I'm not saying you're all a bunch of stupid people. I'm saying we make choices that reflect our nature. Our nature. It's your choices. So Solomon started out good. We start out really good most of the time. Every time you make a resolution, it's a really good, strong resolution. You start out really good, and about 8 weeks later, it's gone. It takes 8 weeks to change a behavior. I have a psychologist over here I could ask her, but I'm not going to. Solomon wanted a hearing heart Because true understanding comes from a hearing heart and hearing what God has to say. What are we praying for? What are we praying for? An understanding heart has an insight and exercises discernment. Its ability to distinguish, it has the ability to distinguish things that separate things from being together. In other words, it has the ability to understand what is going to separate us and what is going to keep us together. That's a very good hearing heart, because you're listening to others, not just yourself. It knows what is real and what is artificial. You know when you have a relationship with someone or you have an acquaintance with someone. You know you have an artificial relationship with someone or you have a real relationship with someone. Most of you have retired from your vocation. Some of you have learned trades through college, trades through school, military training. Many of you have learned through experience. You gained the wisdom to do your job through many experiences, even schools. Many of us forget that it is through God's grace that we are blessed with such wisdom. We are blessed with wisdom. To the point where we know that we can do something, yet we still don't do it. We have the wisdom and the knowledge to do an activity or to make something or to be part of something, but we don't step into it. We stay back. That's not saying that everyone in the church has to lead. There are a lot of people that have told me over the years, Pastor, I'm not a person up front. I like to be in the background. Put me in the background, I'll do whatever you need me to do, because I like working behind the scenes. I just don't want to be up front. That's understandable. That's understanding your natural gifts. Many of us forget that it does come from God, those gifts. Each time I go to the hospital to see someone before their surgery, and many of you have been at the bedside when I'm doing that prayer before surgery, and I thank the doctors. I thank God for the doctors and nurses who are serving in the hospital. I thank God for the doctors and nurses serving in the hospital, and I thank God for the gift of them having the wisdom of our human body to help so many people. I pray that every time, because it's important that we recognize these people didn't get this wisdom of the human body on their own. It's a gift of God. It's a gift of God. I told you many years ago and many other times that I chuckle every time I think about becoming a pastor. I would have never thought that I would be a minister in the church for God. Never would I have understood this call for me. But God has a great sense of humor and put me here. But what I learned in the years to go is the things that I had gifts on were given to me by God. When I was in corporate and doing moves and changing things in stores and doing all those things, I learned in ministry that visioning power came as a gift of God. So I encourage you to consider your heart and discern with wisdom if it's hearing God or if it's hearing you. For it is all of life that we have the blessing of God. It's all of our life that we have this blessing. He has blessed us with people around us to serve with us. He has blessed us with each other. He has blessed us with people that we don't even know yet. But they will come, and you will know them. He will bless you even when you're asking for the smallest things. Or when you need help and you feel that God is not there, but you have the strength to get through it. God was with you. You just didn't know that God was with you. All of life will be blessed, and the people you serve with can anticipate a greater future because of God. Because God showers his people with the element of wisdom. Not because he's obligated, but because he loves us. And we love him. So Merry Christmas, and may God bless his church in 2026.